on BTQ, coming up on CNB, coming up on Fox Business.
SPY coming off the 15 here. Waiting to see if we get some momentum move here. Market internal starting to move up a little bit. Still showing a little bit of a yellow downtrend here, but it should switch to blue. And probably green here in a bit. Q is looking pretty good here. This is really pretty tight price action here. We don't really have much of a trend to lean on. You see, we come down, we go up, we come down, move up. We're trying to break out. Again, the SPY and the Qs are pretty much just putting in doji candles right now. But it looks, the Qs are looking like they want to break out. If you go back and look at that VWAV trade and what happened to the option prices, if you can go back and recreate what happened, so you can do that with Thinkorswim. Go back and look what happened to the option prices when that stock pulled down. That's going to show you a really good example of what implied volatility will do to option prices. I mean, that was an extreme example right there, where a stock pulled back from about 1320 down to about 1280. And the options ran from about 95 cents up to about $1.50. Went the opposite direction of what the price was, the stock was going in. Morning, YouTube folks. Hey Nick, good morning. Sam, good morning. Hey Radala, good morning. It's been an interesting morning this morning. Market pulled down and bounced back up again, pulled down. It's very, very choppy. but it does have a slightly bullish bias to it right now. Market Qs are down on the day. SPY's up on the day. At least they were. Yeah, Dow Jones Industrials put in a new all-time high this morning. But I don't really follow the Dow very much. It's 30 stocks. Google get pounded on AI is going to be doing OpenAI is going to be doing a webcast today talking about browsers, which of course Google is a search engine here. We'll be talking about search engines. Took quite a wallop off that news. I mean, obviously they're direct competitors to Google. But we took profits this morning. I had some Apple calls that I took some profits in from overnight. I took profits in. We took profits in VWAV here. This was a crazy one. This was an unusual option activity trade that we took back on the 17th. It was really crazy because if I show you this, see how this thing pulled back on this candle right here. It was trading up here. Options were trading at around $1, and when the market pulled back like this, they went up to between $1.20 and $1.50. The implied volatility on this candlestick ripped up those options. So something's going on with this VWAV, which we took off of unusual option activity. But this candle right here, this red candle, pushed the option prices, the call prices, up to about between $1.20 and $1.50 from about 95 cents or $1. That shows what implied volatility can do to option prices. It was a really extreme example, but very interesting. Again, I took profits in my Apple from overnight. I took profits in UNH. If anybody was in UNH with me from a few days ago at least, I can't remember when I took it. Took it off today for a nice profit on UNH. I'm out of that one now. Okay. Let's see what we can find to trade. Okay, I'll get you some good cookies, all right? That's it. Hold on. Go lay down. Okay. Had to give my dog some cookies.
On SMX announcing effective date of reverse stock split.
SPY coming back down below the 8. That's the 8 exponential. And this new format that we've got here, in case you're not familiar with this is the pivot point now. It's yellow. It used to be white. The 8 exponential moving average is this white line. This is the 15, the green right here. I use these in conjunction with each other. The VWAP is still, of course, pink here. This is the dynamic compression zone. The trend dots that we had here on the chart is gone. I took those off. And the 50 SMA is off the chart. We don't use that I don't use that on the 5 minutes. So I've tried to clean it up a little bit as far as the structure of this chart. Everything else down here, of course, is the same. But the 8 exponential is the big difference here, and the trend dots being gone. And I watched this 8. The 8 crossing up through the 15 is a good indication of a long. The 8 crossing down through the 15 is a good indication of a short. And then you've got your current time frame momentum here to use in conjunction with that. Maxim, you're in UNH, took a dollar day, good job, very good. William, I'm late to the party today, huh? Is the new format pushed? Do we have to send an email to get it? You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I'll ask them about that. They should be able to push it to some people. The thing is, a lot of people are not going to know what to do when they get it, so they're going to have to talk. They're going to have to talk them through it. But I would go ahead and send them an email and ask for it, William. I think it's going to be it's going to help. I mean, again, if you've seen me show the TC2000, you know that I always have the 8 and the 15 on my 5-minute and my daily chart, and so I'm going to use the same thing over here. That'll help everybody who doesn't have TC2000 to see the same kind of setup that I'm looking at. Again, notice that it's trying to break above the 8 right here as the 8 and 15 come together, but our momentum is very, very weak right now, so I can't really touch any of these things. Triple Qs, it looks a lot better. Triple Qs a lot better than the SPY right now. Green momentum. Tech stocks are strong here right now today. Not Google, but tech stocks are. Hey, Sacklin. Just got in. Am I still in holding coin? Yeah, I'm still holding coin. Also, when a trade goes against you, when do you consider averaging down, or do you not usually? Well, first of all, let's talk about adding to a trade. All right, there's two situations where you can add to a trade, and both of them are based on the setup, the technical setup. All right, I don't add to a position just to get in at a cheaper price. If I'm going to take a position, if I'm going to add to a position, it's going to require the stock to be going against me, hit a support level, bounce off that support level, and confirm that it's going back into the original trend. Now, if the option prices are cheaper there than what I paid for them, that would be a time where I would add to a losing trade. All right, because I still consider it a technically strong setup. Okay, so that's one case. The other case is if you add to it when you're up profits on it. If it's moving up and it's strong, it's hitting your technical levels, it breaks through another resistance level or something, then you can add to it again. So it's always based on your technicals. It's never based on the price. You don't just add to something because it's fallen down. Because if it's going against you, you have to look at the trade. Is this still valid? And you just don't add to it just because it's cheaper. You wait for it to find support, bounce off support, go back up into the original trend again. That's when you would add to it. And you could be getting in cheaper at that point in time. That's the only way. But just to add to a trade, just to average down, not a good idea. Because you could be averaging down on a losing trade too. So. I like the Qs a little bit here for a long. Trading at 611.53. Like to see it break out here, but this is a pretty good setup. We get good momentum, We get a pop out of the box. We get it's coming above the 8 and the 15. It's an interesting level right here. Now we don't really have a strong trend here, so we're looking for a breakout. We're looking for a breakout. I took a few calls on this, but I'm gonna have to keep a pretty tight leash on it today because the market's really not that strong. Rory sending you an email with the importing links for the revised template. Okay, good deal. Again, I'm watching the Qs here for long to see if they actually break out. For the day. I think this is the high for the day right in here. Again, I'm not gonna overstay my welcome in this trade. Again, I took some Q calls here. I'm just got to see what I can get out of them because we don't really have a good trend here. This could easily pull back pretty quickly, so I'm just trailing them up here right now. I get into the 610s. I get into the 610s for 202 when I mentioned it. Right now they're trading at 230, 234. Yeah, and I'm in at 202. They're 242 right now. So this is actually turning into a pretty nice trade, up about 40 cents. But I'm gonna keep a very tight leash on this because I don't know if the market's just gonna keep on going here today. Okay, I'm out at 242. All right, out at 242 with my calls, my Q calls. SPY Super System trade, right off the 8 and the 15. Again, this is just one candle. It's not even a whole candle, and I'm out of the trade. But if I look at the Qs, you notice we had good momentum here. If I look at the SPY, we didn't have good momentum here. It's just turning good now, but we had red starting out. So I took the Qs. I'm out of the trade. In at 202, out at 242. Now happy with that. Could keep going. Again, that's why I can all you do is tell you when I see these setting up. I can't post them or anything. They're way too quick. But I mean, that was a nice trade. 10 contracts, $400. That's pretty good. How am I defining a Q breakout, Joe? Well, I'm defining the breakout by basically this is a breakout because of this. See the compression. This is a compression break. This was a compression break here over here, over this compression here. A breakout would really be above the high of the day on the Qs. And the Qs, the high of the day right now in the Qs is 612.05. So we went through it right back in here. Just about. It's almost at the high of the day. So that's what I was looking for. But again, I have to keep a very tight leash on this because this is not a strong market right now. This price action is, and again, you've got to look at price action. This price action is not very strong. But this was a pretty nice move right here. I had all the elements I needed, except for I didn't have a trend to follow. And I got with the Qs, you get one candle and you can get 30, 40 cents. So that's what I did. Maxim took 25 cents in Qs in the 5-minute candle. Good job. Took 8 cents in the SPY. Woohoo! Good job. Took 20 cents from it, John. Nice job. Again, this is not a really strong day right now. We're getting a little bit of a move to the upside. So taking 20, 30, 40 cents off of a SPY trade or a Q trade, and it's good money, especially if you're getting in at close to a support level. So your downside is protected pretty much. Okay. All right, so I took that trade. That worked okay. We've actually had a pretty good day considering the trades. This VWAV thing is a real interesting trade. I keep talking about this because it's really interesting, because this, you see where it is now. Okay, here's VWAV. See this bouncing right back up again to $13, and the options right now on VWAV are midpoint at 118. So we get filled at 120 down here. But see, this is why something's going on with this stock. Something is up with this stock to get this kind of option premium move off of that implied volatility move like that. This option's now $1.10 by $1.25. So again, we got $1.20 down here, and then I got about $1.40 right here. So now they're back a little bit to 110 by 125, even though the stock price is considerably higher than it was. And the implied volatility, by the way, has dropped from 100 to 56. Just trying to cover this, just kind of to introduce you to implied volatilities and what it can do to stop. This is just more of to try to help folks understand how options work. I know it may be kind of confusing to folks, but I just kind of want to throw that out there for everybody. All right, going to look around for some more stocks to trade here. It's about 5 minutes to 12. Let's see if we have any more questions. Amazon just joining online today. Anything on GLD, Apple, ITB? Well, gold is weak today. Gold has moved down. It's right back down, right to the 15 this morning. So I'm not touching gold right now. Apple I got out of this morning. It's still bullish. It has earnings coming up on the 30th, but it's getting a little extended. So I took profits in it yesterday, and then I held some contracts and took the rest of them this morning. I would be out of the trade right now with earnings coming up on the 30th next week, and it's a little extended. I would have to wait for a pullback to get into it again. ITB, that's home construction. You know, it's strong here today. Not one I usually trade. It is bouncing off the 100-day moving average with the 50-day just above. All right, the 50-day just above, right here. But I mean, that's a fairly bearish move. This home construction right down through the 100-day moving average to the 200 and bouncing. So it is bullish right now, but you've got this resistance right here, right up here at 108. And that's likely to be the spot where it's going to stop. But it's showing a nice pattern here in this. After this pullback. Here's Apple. It is getting a little extended. And gold, you can see gold pulled back pretty hard. I mean, this was due for a pullback here. This parabolic stuff can't last forever. Newmont took quite a pounding today as well. So does Google, by the way. Off of the OpenAI, going to do a webinar today on basically search engines. And so Google took a pretty big hit, but it came right down to the support level and bounced. I tried to get a strangle when it was down there, but it was too expensive. And I did take a strangle in Altria today. 63 put, 64 calls. It's trading at 63.50. Got it in pretty cheap. Got in for $65 a contract. It has an ATR of about $1.10, so that's not too bad a trade. And we're still in coin, which is came down pretty hard this morning with Bitcoin, but it's trying to recover right now by quite a bit. Again, this is a very, very volatile stock. So, you know, this thing moves 20 points a day. Okay. Anything else here? What I consider rolling ABBV if it doesn't realize this week. Well, it's got earnings on 10/31, so it's got earnings a week from Friday. So you don't really have a lot of room to move it. I mean, you could try rolling it out to next week if you wanted to. I doubt if I'll do that. I'll probably just take a loss on it if it does. I mean, it's putting in a pretty strong hammer bar today, so we'll see. This is the ABBV candlestick from today. Had a nice move yesterday. Had a pull down here this morning. I don't even know if that's a real candle. And moving up. So we'll see. I got to give it some more time. Do I ever consider something like TQQQ instead of for options leverage? Yeah, I do sometimes. I typically don't do that, but I have done it before. I've used the SQQQ or the TQQQ, and you're getting a. If it moves in your favor, you do well. If it moves against you, you get hit a little harder. For those any leverage instrument like that. Curious if I think Apple needs to cool down. I don't know. I mean, it's a little extended. That whether it cools down or not, I think it's probably at least going to compress in the next couple of days. But I could be completely wrong. But it is extended from the 8 by quite a bit. 8 to 255. The stock's trading at 263. It's about $9 extended. It has an ATR of about 585. So it's almost 2 ATRs extended. So it's a little extended. All right. Again, I did take the SPY Super System on the Qs. I'm out of it already. You can't stay in these things very long today. If you have a nice trend, you can stay in the trade a little longer. We don't have a trend here today. I mean, if you look at this price action, this is not a trend. Again, this is a revised template that I'm using now for the SPY Super System. Took the trend dots out of there and took the SMA 50 out of there, added the 8 exponential moving average, this white line. So we get the 8, the 15, and the VWAP. These all now become very nice support and resistance levels to use. And you can use the 8 in conjunction with the 15. If you get into the 8 and the stock drops, a lot of times the 15 will become support. That's on the daily and on the 5-minute chart. Shai points out the leverages are also heavy. He's talking about the TQQQs and the SQQQ. Yeah, they have IV. The implied volatility is higher, of course, because they're leveraged. So it makes them more expensive to trade. But they do still work if they get the direction right. Is there a difference between the ADMA provided with the SPY Super System versus just adding the ADMA from the toss indicators? I don't think so. It should be the same. It should be the same. I just wanted to add it to the rest of the template, that's all. Obviously, you can add that, and you can add the VWAP. These things you can't. Obviously, those are proprietary. But I'm trying to make the setup on the SPY Super System as friendly as possible for us to make as much money as we can. That's the whole point. 12 o'clock. Here goes the Qs continuing off. Again, I took profits here. It's still moving though. Again, I can't chase it. I gotta wait. Gotta wait for a pullback. SPY also moving up here. SPY now a little closer to a support level. The Qs have run away a little bit, but the SPY is still tradable from where it is. So is the IWM. The IDM was a little suspect because it's still red for the day.
Members watching this EL Estee Lauder following the earnings out by L'Oreal. Seeing volatility on the name.
SPY is still sitting right here on the 8 exponential with the 15 right there with it. See if we get a move again with 672, 73 is the high of the day on the SPY. Still pretty bullish. Market internal still moving up, but not steeply. They're slowly chopping up. So again, you gotta keep a tight leash in the trades. You want to keep your size down here right now until we can see if we get any kind of a trend to follow. Coin back up to a $1.45 right now, moving up a little bit. Tesla, Ramkafar through the 447 level. Thank you very much. Trying to get through again. It's got to stay above that 447, 08, and it's a fairly strong resistance level. It's up at 448, but that's not a big breakthrough for Tesla because it moves quite a bit. Since there would be resistance at the all-time high in the SPY, would they hold off on any longs on strong stocks? So we might not have the market to help us that much. Not really. Not if we've got a bullish market. No, I mean the SPY still got some room to the all-time high, and if you can find a stock that's got relative strength that might outperform it, I don't see any reason to. Earnings on Tesla tomorrow, by the way. Yeah, options extremely pricey. Obviously, a lot of premium built into the Tesla options right now because of earnings. ABBV seems to be weak for quite some time, John. Yeah, it's been pretty sluggish. It's been basically compressing. I wouldn't call it weak. I would just call it compressing. It's compressing here. It has been compressing for a while. Tried to break through here and just compressed. It's still a nice bullish setup here on a PBO, but again, it has earnings next Friday. And here we might run out of time on this, but this is not a bearish setup. This is a bullish setup. SPY just kind of moving sideways here. Momentum's still good. Market internals decent. Sorry for the noise, just munching on a muffin here. I probably won't eat lunch for, another 45 minutes or so I had to have a little something. Tide me over. Amazon's an interesting. If you sell a call, say on Apple, all right. Now you're talking about selling a call naked here, outside of a spread, just selling a call on Apple to bring in premium. You get a fat premium. Sure, you get a fat premium because they get earnings next week. What is the best option you have to do with the cash without taking it out of the account? Listen, selling naked calls is the most dangerous and risky thing you can do. All right, selling a naked call. Obviously it's a higher price than what the stock's trading at, because you're exposing yourself to basically unlimited risk on the trade. All right, if you sell a call on Apple, and some news comes out on Apple overnight, right, and Apple skyrockets way up and goes $100 above the strike you sold, you got to buy that back at the new price. You're trapped in that thing. Please don't sell naked calls. Please. If it's in a spread, that's fine. But what's the best thing you can do with the cash? The cash not going to do much good if the stock zips up past that strike price. I mean, obviously you're going to get assigned the stock. So if you own the stock and you sell covered calls on it, that's a different story now. If it's covered, that's fine. Okay, you own 100 shares. Yeah, that's fine then. You own 100 shares and you sell a covered call. What's the best thing you can do with the cash without taking it out of your account? Well, if you're going to do anything with it, it's going to come out of your account. If you're gonna buy something with it, take another trade. Otherwise, it just sits in your account. But you're talking about putting the cash in some sort of an interest-bearing account or something. That's a different story. I don't know what you mean by that. Typically, I don't usually think about what I'm going to do with the cash. It goes into my cash, into my trading account, and I use it for trading. I don't do any covered calls anymore on stock. I do sometimes sell covered calls on long long option positions I have to reduce the cost of the option if I've got some time on it. If I'm out 2 or 3 months on this option, I can sell like weekly calls against it. Nerve ready to go. NERV. Yeah, biotech. I don't know if it's ready to go or not. I mean, it's just compressing sideways right now.
Additional $200,000 purchase. COSM.
This is a volatile stock. I'm sure you know. It's very volatile. It's up 310% today on Minerva. And it could break. I mean, it could break. I mean, the chart right now on Minerva is pretty good. This is a pretty nice chart. Big gap up here again. Over 300%. Moving sideways. Here's your 8 and your 15. Yeah, that's a decent entry for it right there. But you got to be really quick on these things. These are very volatile. Most likely you can't trade options. I don't know, but yeah, this is a break right here. You could take it and put your stop right down here at the 8. If it closes below the 8, get out of the trade. SPY just kind of chopping here right now. Momentum's still good. Market internal's decent. SPY looking, it's looking green. It's okay. Q's also holding the 8. IWM much more compressed. I just look at my VWAV. because I put a sell order at 120, I get filled at 120. Then I raise it to 140, and I get filled at 155. So there was some crazy option pricing going on with VWAV. But again, I'm out of that trade altogether right now. I've got a few SPY calls right now. That's all, just a few SPY calls. Just the intraday trade. Can I show AMD and the SPY Super System, please? Sure. It's right there on the 5-minute chart. Breaking up above the pivot point right now. Coming off this low and moving up again. As I mentioned earlier, this is a bullish stock. Look at the daily chart on it. Bullish stock. Everything's green across the board here. Momentum's good. Here's the 8 right there, and pretty nice setup on the on AMD for long. It did pull back today a little bit, but still a good setup on this thing. When did I get into the SPY calls? Let me go back and look. Again, I'm covering a lot of stuff here today, so I can't tell you every time I get into it. Let me look at my platform. At 12:03, right on this candle. Right as it came back here and tried to move above the 8 exponential moving average in the 15. They're all clustered right together. And again, this will be my stop. If it breaks below the 15, I'll take a loss on it. And it's not an easy day because we don't have any trend to follow. So you have to try to catch the move. And I was hoping to get a quick move here right here after 12 o'clock, but it's really just kind of pressing sideways here right now. GLW. I think most everybody's out of GLW. I held some back, some more contracts. The $80 calls I get up till next week. It's up this morning about 1%, trading at 86.13 right now. Okay, I'm watching the SPY. Let's see what it does here right at the 15. Very tight range here on the SPY. Very, very tight range. So, and this could break either way. Still got the VWAP down here. Dynamic compression zone right here. This is really pretty sideways with price action right now. Again, without a trend to follow, it's not a very high probability trade setup. It's a high probability trade setup because of the indicators, but it's not very high because we don't have a trend to jump into. But it's still working okay. I think I'm down about 3 cents on it right now. Remember, the all-time high in the SPY is 673.95. It's about $1.60 away. to the all-time high on the SPY. But we don't have a lot of volume on the SPY today. It's really just kind of putting in a doji. Market internals now are pushing higher. Hey William, Amazon pushing through the 100. Long next week's 212.50s, 14.50. Okay, thank you. Next week's that of course earnings comes the 30th. You know you want to probably be out before the 31st. If you buy on the 31st, you're paying a little extra for them, but you get some that premium holds. Yeah, that's a nice look on Amazon. 233.30, 223.30 is a resistance level on it. Because Amazon said robots, which is almost as cool as saying AI. I got you, William. Planning a day trade? Yeah, I think it's a good day trade. Amazon looks like a nice setup. It does have some resistance here. On the daily, you've got the 100-day moving average, then you get this 223.30. So it's tight resistance right here. But this is a nice move off of the 8. The only thing I'm in right now is SPY. I still got some SPY calls. Waiting to see if it can make a move up to today's high. Hey, William, did you get your UNH taken off, by the way? Were you able to take profits in it? Grab $2. Good. Had a low entry, cost of entry. Yeah, good job. Nice job. A little bit of a weight on that one. Here's a SPY with a nice little pop here. Again, market internals decent. They're not tremendously bullish, but decent. But the SPY looks pretty good. Again, momentum's good on this. Again, it's holding the 15 and the 8. I'm not going to. Again, I have a very tight leash on this thing, just because I just don't. This is not a runaway market here. So you just got to grab profits when you can. You know, when you're in a position and you get compression like this, especially on your zero DTEs, the options that expire today, you get some time decay here. That's gonna time decay the premium. You should be in the money with these. Should be trading like a 672, 671, something like that. But you know, the closer to the price you get, the closer to at the money as opposed to in the money, the time decay is more significant. Jack, John, if I can't get filled on the price, do you think I should wait for it to come back or chase? I don't know which stock you're talking about, but I would say don't chase. Basically, hardly ever chase. Wait for this to come back to you. If it doesn't come back, don't take the trade. Look for something else. because this is not great price action in the SPY right here. Indicators are all look good. Everything looks good. Market internals look good, but the SPY's, this is really pretty. This is a pretty flat market here. Since about 11:45, we've really just moved sideways. So I'm looking for a move to the upside. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And if I don't get a move in the SPY pretty soon, I'm just going to take it off and break even because it's just taking too much time to make a move here. And again, I have today's calls. If I had tomorrow's calls, it would be a different story. I typically don't take tomorrow's calls till after about 1 o'clock or 1:30. Little compression break here in the SPY. But this is just very, very slow price action. Little pop in the SPY. These are really small candles. Again, I'm slightly in profits here, and I'm probably going to take them pretty soon. It's about 12:29. I'm going to eat in about 15 minutes, so I'll probably pull some profits off of here if I can, and then look for some other trades perhaps. Maybe some, the SPY super system is good on these. If you can find some stocks that have relative strength to the market, they're even better to trade if you can get those kind of setups. I do that all the time, but right now I'm trading the SPY. I had a nice trade in the Qs earlier, and I'm just trading the SPY right now. I looked at my stats from last week on the SPY super system trades. I had 15 SPY super system trades and 15 wins, which was pretty good. So, not all big, some 10, 15 cents, some 40 cents. I had one that was about 90 cents, so. It does take it takes discipline and patience on these things. All right, I'm going to take profits on the SPY in here. It's on this candle. Keeps going. I'm going to stick in it a bit longer, but. All right, I'm out. The SPY calls. I took about an 8 cent profit on it. That's all. Just very small calls, very small candlesticks, and I also had quite a bit of time decay going through here. So I'm out. So I'm happy with that. Okay. Now we'll look for some other things. Ram Kumar, UNH stacking green candles again. Yeah, nice. Again, I'm out of UNH. I'm happy with my exit on UNH. They expire Friday. It still looks good. The daily chart on UNH was nice. That's why we took it. It was a gap fill. Again, it's been in this gap fill for a long time. See how far back this gap goes. Again, we traded it here for nice profit, and we get in down here. I don't know if I took it here for. I think we did make a $5 profit here, and then I get back into it again here, back in here, and had to wait through this pullback. But notice it went down to the 15, but then closed above it, and it hit the 351.71 right on it, and then bounced off of there, and then I'm out today. Still got room to about 375, 380, but again, I'm out of that trade. William, you like how I'm talking people through the SPY Super System trades today. Well, I can't do it every day because there's other stuff going on, but when I'm in them like I did today with the Qs and with the SPY, I'm trying to explain to people how to trade these, because you really do have to trade these yourselves. I mean, I can show you setups, but if there's a video on this, you really need to learn the setups. I'm going to be doing another video to include the 8 exponential as part of the strategy. But these are very good. I mean, these work a very high frequency. After last week, I looked at my SPY Super Systems, and I had a profit factor, which I don't know if profit factor is a 1.0 profit factor is break even. 2 is really strong. Most of our trades in the methodologies we take here outside the SPY Super System have a profit factor of about 4.4 to 4.7. I'm 2.4 to 2.7. The SPY Super System, as of last week, has a profit factor of 4.1. Very high, a very, very high profit factor. And it's because we get in at very, very close to support and resistance levels. That's really the key here, not to chase.
Trump says we'll discuss a lot of things with China's Xi.
William saying, highly recommend people try paper trading SPY Super System for a bit before using green dollars. Build some confidence and a sense of timing. Yeah, base hits. I mean, listen, this isn't for everybody. All right. Obviously, if you're under PDT rules, you can't do these SPY Super Systems. I mean, you can do 3 in a week, but you can't do them a lot. You can do it with a cash account. The PDT rules are going to be changing here in the months ahead. Not sure exactly when, but it's got 25,000 is going to go away. It's probably going to be either percentage of your margin, how much money you get in the account, or about 2,500. So it's going to make a big difference. Joe says paper trade, just trade one share, it means more. I mean, yeah. Listen, there's a lot of theories on paper trading and trading shares versus options, etc. I don't know. When I started trading, I used real money. I just used small contracts. I used 1 contract or something, or 2, so I could scale out, because I felt like it was better for me to have some skin in the game. But again, if you're trading these SPY options, things can move pretty fast. So trading paper probably is not a bad way to learn on it. One of the bad things about paper trading is the fills are not going to be realistic. Your entry fill, your exit fill is not going to be realistic. So you can't take what you make on a paper trade and think that that's going to convert into cash when you start trading live. I've had lots of people tell me how well they did paper trading, so they're going to switch over, and again, all of a sudden they start losing money, because paper trading but it will give you a good way to get used to the methodology. William's saying on the PDT rules, latest news is the amendments are pending approval by the Securities and Exchange Commission, which received FINRA's filing in late September 2025. If approved without changes, the new rules are expected to take effect late 2025 or early 2026. Yeah, just a few months. It's going to make a big difference. I'm looking forward to it for a couple of reasons. Folks that have small accounts can start trading more actively in the room here, and people who have small accounts who don't know what they're doing will be trading a lot more as well, which gives us a lot more people to take money from. Just to be crass about this, most retail traders have no idea what they're doing. They've got absolutely no clue. That's why they blow up their accounts. And the more of them we've got in around the world trading accounts, when people with small accounts are going to make a big difference. The more profitability we're going to get. We get more people to take money from. Again, it sounds crass, but you remember when you're trading something, retail traders typically are losers. I mean, 90% of them are losers, and I don't mean people losers. They lose money, and they blow their accounts up because they don't know what they're doing, and that's who we take money from. John? Yeah, the SPY-Q and IWM options are fairly liquid. Yeah, I mean, obviously trading the index is extremely liquid. You don't have to worry about, usually the spreads are tight on them, which helps a lot. The recommendations is PDT with no limit, but brokers can and are encouraged to set one for risk management. Yeah, 2,000. There'll be, we'll see what it comes up. But again, basically PDT rules as they stand now are going away in a few months. So if you're under PDT rules, expect you're going to be able to trade bet more in the future. Do I think the PDT change is going to affect the compass system indicators? No. The compass system indicators are coming from institutional trading. The retail traders don't impact them. All it's going to do is give us more people out there in the world that are trading stocks and trading options who don't have the information we've got. They don't have the methodologies we've got. They don't have the patience we've got. They don't have the knowledge we've got. And they're going to lose money. But it gives us a much bigger pool to draw money from. The institutions are going to love it.
It says U.S. to buy 1 million barrels for the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Joe, you're thinking of going on SPY Super System trades only. Is this too risky? No, they're not. It's not too risky. And you can do the SPY Super System trades on stocks as well, options on stocks. But it's not. They're not. It's not risky if you follow the strategy. If you follow the methodology, you don't chase. No, it's not. Joe, GC futures. All right, 20 points. Nice job. He took that on the /GC right here. Oops. That's the DC futures, the GC futures right there. Good job. Nice trading. Again, there's a SPY right back to the 8 again. Again, I'm out of the trade. Took a small profit on it. This is very slow price action right now. You were short, Joe, on the GC? Okay, cool. Hey, Doug, which bar did I enter the SPY Super System trade on? Let me look. I just said that a little while ago. 1203. Right here on this candle. As it broke above the 8, broke here, and then I sat in it, and sat in it, and sat in it, and sat in it, and took profits. Didn't take much profits, because this move right here decayed the premium quite a bit. And you know, I was down money on it, but again, it broke through the 8, but notice it sat right on the 15. And I took profits in it. Again, it's very choppy right now. I'm not really inclined to take any more SPY super system trades off the indexes today. I'm going to look for some stocks. Yeah, you did it right, Doug. Again, this is not a great trending day, so there's not going to be huge profits in this. I had a nice trade in the Qs a little earlier, but the SPY trade was pretty small. I think it took 8 cents, so I mean, basically that's a break even, but you know, $80. But it's better than a loss. And I didn't want to. I just didn't feel like we were getting an awful lot of move here. And the market internals, I'm watching on TC2000, are starting to turn down just a bit. This is a pretty choppy day. Pretty choppy day. Again, I had a good day today. I had Apple from overnight, but I had some calls from yesterday. Those are still moving up nicely. I took nice profits in UNH that I've been holding on to for a good long time, and it's still going up. We took profits on this VWAV in for $1, in for 90, out for $1.20. I get paid for $1.20 and $1.55. A crazy price action on VWAV today because the implied volatility went from 50 to over 100 in one candle. Watching coin, I'm still in coin. Coin's down for the day, but it is bouncing off the low. Again, this is a very volatile stock. And ABBV has just been not doing much today. It's putting in a hammer bar today, which is this is encouraging. To see this hammer bar on ABBV. I'm not sure this is true, but that's what we got. There it is right there. To take that off, we're really just getting just a little bit of a movement to the upside. It's slightly bearish, but still, I got to give it more time. Do I think the 24-hour trading policy is going to change the market? Oh yeah, if they go to 24-hour markets, we'll see when that happens. You know, I'm not going to be trading 24 hours. I got to sleep. So, but it'll make a difference. I mean, the market is the futures operate 24 hours now. So, but they're talking about doing it for stocks and options. I don't know. We'll see what it does. It's going to change the market, sure. It's going to be easy to trade the U.S. market anywhere in the world. You know, you can trade the U.S. market when you're up, but I think, you know, the volume in the market is still going to be biggest during hours here in the United States. You know, when the normal trading hours is where when New York is open and Chicago, etc. That's where most of the volume will come in. Although you'll still get a lot more trading from you know, Asia and Europe. I haven't looked at Altria much. It's just moving sideways right now, not really doing anything. Again, we get this till Friday, so I'm going to give it some time to move. Paid 65 cents for it. It's trading at 62 right now. About 1:45, so I'm going to probably take a break here and get some lunch. Amazon. Is Target still bearish to you? TGT? Let me look. Target still bearish? No. No, I mean, I wouldn't take it long here because you got too much resistance, but it's certainly not bearish. I mean, this is looking to try to break out here. Earnings not till 11:19, so, but you get this 95, this 95.06 right here, and then you get the 100-day this algo line here can probably go away. Yep, but I wouldn't consider it bearish, no. Won't they blow up their accounts faster? You mean that on the when the PDT rules change? Or are you talking about all-night trading, all-day trading, 24-hour trading? Both cases, yes. Yeah. They'll just be blowing up smaller amounts. I mean, and this, who knows what it's going to do to the market, but we're going to have a lot more people to trade against, and I like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close down the YouTube feed. Thanks very much, everybody from YouTube. Appreciate you being here today. Always nice to see you here. Answer some questions, nice comments. Again, be happy to have you come over and join the room. BrightlineTrading.com, get you into the room, or the alert service, or buy the software, which has been modified now to include the 8 exponential moving average, and the trend dots are gone. Cleaned up the chart quite a bit. All right, have a great afternoon, everybody, and we'll see everybody tomorrow about 11:30. About 11:30 in the morning.